Hello everyone, and in this video we're going to be talking about something related to circles, and it ends up being really nice. It's called a mixtillinear incircle. I'll go ahead and spell it out on screen. Or incircle. So what is a mixtillinear incircle? Well, pretty much it's just a circle that's tangent to the circumcircle of triangle ABC, while at the same time tangent to each of these points here, aka AB and AC. And we're gonna call the tangency points K, L, and T here. So what's super special about this circle? Well, as we have here, we can, if we draw the line TK, and we're gonna prove this in the video, and then we draw the line TL, and we also draw this line here, and we let the midpoint of this segment be, suppose I, and we extend TI to hit the circumcircle here, then it turns out that these 2 points are the midpoints of the arcs AB and AC, not containing these points over here. So these arc lengths here are equal, and so are these. And the midpoint of KL is I, the incenter of triangle ABC, surprisingly enough. And the line TI passes through the midpoint of the major arc BC. In other words, the one containing A here. So how can we go ahead and prove this? Well, let's go ahead and take things one step at a time. And we're going to go ahead and prove that TK passes through the midpoint. Suppose I'll just call it MC. I'll go ahead and get rid of this. All right, so how can we go ahead and prove that TMC passes through K? Well, seeing these tangent circles here kind of reminds us of homothety. Recall from an earlier video that homothety is just like scaling things up at a point. Here, tangency points for circles kind of remind us of that because there's a homothety taking this mixtillinear incircle here all the way to the circumcircle here. So we're really hoping for this point K here, the tangency point, to be mapped to the midpoint of the arc. Well, how can we go ahead and show that the homothety maps K to the midpoint? Well, we want to recall the definition of K, which is a tangency point from this line here. So MC must be some sort of another tangency point. So might as well just add the tangent while we can. Now we definitely see something going on. We see that the tangent point at MC is parallel to AB. And if that were the case, then this homothety would take AB to this tangency point and this mixtillinear incircle to the circumcircle, implying that since K is an intersection, it takes K to MC and we're done. So how can we go ahead and show that this tangency point is parallel to this? Well, it should be kind of obvious from here that the point at the tangency at the midpoint is parallel to AB, but I'll go ahead and give the proof for completeness. So suppose we have a point K here. We have that the directed angle KMCB, because of the tangency condition, is equal to directed angle MCBA. And we also have, because MCB is equal to MCA, it's also equal to BAMC. And that implies that the two lines are parallel. So now that we know that TK passes through MC, we can go ahead and erase this tangent, and we now know this for sure. Similarly, we know that TL passes through the midpoint MB. And now for the next step, we wish to show that the incenter I is the midpoint here. And in order to do this, we'll need a subordinate lemma involving these points here that tk mck times mct is equal to mcb squared. In other words, it's also equivalent to showing that these triangles here are similar, mcbk and mctb. So how can we go ahead and show this? Well, we already have that this angle here is equal to the measure of this arc, and then this angle here is a measure of this arc. However, these arcs are equal, so we know that these triangles are similar, and therefore mck times mct is equal to mb squared, which is also equal to mca squared. And now that we know this, we're going to introduce a little fact here that CLIT is cyclic. So CLIT is cyclic. So how can we go about proving this? In order to prove this, to make things a bit easier for us, we're just going to go ahead and let I prime be the intersection of CMC, which is thus the angle bisector, and line LK. And we wish to show that I prime is the incenter. And we're going to do this by showing that CLI prime T is instead cyclic. So I'll go ahead and draw this line. So how can we go ahead and get started? We have this point I prime here lies on KL. So we wish to try doing something with KL. And this immediately makes us think of I prime L something. Either I prime LC or I prime LT. If it was I prime LC, then we have to go ahead and show that it's equal to I prime TC, which ends up being kind of complicated because we don't really know as much about point I prime when it comes down to intersections. So let's go ahead and show that I prime LT is equal to I prime CT. Well, this is definitely good news for us because we have that I prime CT is equal to, let me go ahead and erase this, is equal to directed angle MCCT because we're redefining I prime as here. And this is equal to, it's also equal to MCBT. However, from what we proved inside our lemma earlier in this video, this is also equal to BKMC. And we want to relate things to the point T, and as we proved earlier, T lies on line KMC. So this actually ends up being directed angle BKT. And now look, we have tangent lines. So BKT is equal to directed angle KLT is equal to directed angle ILT, I prime LT. So we're done. We showed that this quadrilateral here is cyclic. CLI prime T. And similarly, we also have that BKI prime T is cyclic if BKI double prime T is cyclic if I is the intersection of MBB and KL. So now how will we show that I prime lies on line KL? Well, in order to do this, we're going to go ahead and show that some triangles are similar here. Specifically, MCI prime K is similar to triangle MCTI prime. We already have one angle here, so we're close. So we're going to go ahead and show that directed angle MCKI prime is equal to directed angle Ti prime m. So given this, we can actually rewrite this. So we're going to start from here. So mcky prime is equal to directed angle tkl, because we just move on to different lines. And this is equal to negative directed angle lkt. You'll see where this is going in just a bit, because this is also equal to directed angle clt, so negative directed angle clt, which is directed angle tlc. And finally, we have a directed angle ti prime c, because cli prime t is cyclic. So directed angle ti prime c. And since mc lies on line ci prime, we have that this is equal to directed angle ti prime mc, as we needed. So now that we know this, we have some similar triangles here. We can take ratios and get something like mci prime squared is equal to mck times mct. But you might recognize this from somewhere. It's actually, from what we showed earlier, it's equal to mcb squared. And since I prime lies on the angle bisector by the incenter excenter lemma, surprise, I covered that in a previous video, I prime must be the incenter. So what we've shown now is that I is the incenter, definitely. Now that we know that 100% sure. Let me go ahead and erase all of this stuff. All right. And we can say something even further about I. So we know that these lengths are equal and these angles are equal because I is the incenter. So these triangles must be congruent, and as a result, ki equals il. And that means that I is a midpoint of kl, which is very interesting. And now for the final step. How can we show that ti passes through the midpoint of the arc? Suppose ma. In order to do this, we'll show that cti is equal to ctma. So directed angle cti is equal to directed angle ctma. We can go ahead and turn cti from our cycloquadrilateral into cli, and ctma, it's already on the circle, so we can just keep that as is. So ctma, and then this is just clk, which is directed angle ctma. So how can we go ahead and do this? Now we're going to go ahead and get a bit more technical here. This is going to be 2 alpha, 2 beta, and 2 gamma. Then this angle here is 90 minus alpha because these lengths are equal and we have an isosceles triangle. So this is 90 plus alpha. So now we wish to show that CTMA is 90 plus or minus alpha. So given this 2 beta here, the measure of this arc must be 2 beta as well by the inscribed angle theorem. And MBMA here, no, we first focus on CMA. And since CMA is the half the arc of major arc BC, and the measure of that big arc is just 180, 360 minus 4 gamma. This MAC must equal 180 minus 2 alpha. So that means that this here must be 2 gamma in order to get a 180 minus 2 alpha here. And we have an S here. And 2 beta plus 2 gamma is equal to this measure of this arc, which is thus 180 minus 2 gamma. And finally, by the inscribed angle theorem, this angle here must be half of that, so 90 minus alpha, which is equal to 90 plus or minus alpha. Therefore, TS must pass through I, where S is the midpoint of the arc. So in summary, this is what we know about mixilinear incircles. Let me go ahead and clear out all of this mess. So we know that if MC, MB, and S are the midpoint of the arcs, then TI passes through S, TK passes through MC, TL passes through MB, and I is the midpoint of KL, where I is the incenter. And see what else you can discover about the mixilinear incircles. This is a really big subject in geometry, and there's a lot to say about this one circle here. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.